Proclamation Declaration I AM. A proclamation of declaration I am, out of hiding, into love. A proclamation to remembrance, into balance, that I am. A message to all ones, to humanity, and to myself. I am in my write a book era, so you may be hearing more from me these days. Actually, we as a collective are in our write a book era. Perhaps you've received recent clarity around your next steps of inspired action. Perhaps you've recently stepped into a layer of activation of self. If you have a human heartbeat, it's time to step into your power and truth expressed. The ad for this call reads, welcoming all creative artists, all beings, all ones, come out of hiding, find your art, be willing to say the wrong thing, to actually be wrong, to have humility, to self-correct, to adapt, to trust you, to be you, to claim I am. If you are on the light team rooting for the thriving of Earth, the peace and sovereignty of all, we need that light on the offensive. I see your value and truth. I won't dismiss or gaslight you for not putting your neck on the chopping block or pulling out swords to be selves you are not, or certainly not for doing the sacred work of holding the vibratory state for the collective. If you are on the team back to balance, mission holding duality, remembering how to return to the flow of nature and I am, which is now heading to unity, yes, please, we need to hear from you. Show us how we can restructure our foundations here when we know the old structures are coming down fast. Come help us rebuild. Some are the divine architects and need not be torn down for their unique role, even if you judge it as somehow not enough or this or that. If you are the cells of the earth body that rush to the front lines to support the bleed and work on the ravaging tumor, we kneel to you. Let us know how we can support. If you are not on these teams, we also need to hear from you and could use your help. We respect you. If you had a knee jerk to the use of the term teams, question how evolved out of duality you are. Did you just trade duality for non-duality? Let's expand to hold space for all and not need to be all. Be you. The game is cohesiveness and coming together for humanity. That happens when we lift the veil and see we are free and safe to be. How willing are you to find the truth in a position you have labeled as wrong, without needing to drop your anchor there, to erase yourself to see it, and yet to touch in and be curious? If you touted anything that said trust the science and were making those skeptical wrong or charged as selfish, or expecting a fellow scientist to be a blind follower, ask yourself how well you hold duality. If you assumed you knew someone and their entire motives and character because of their mask position, or felt intense rage walking by someone in the grocery store that was masked or not masked, can you pause and reflect on how well you hold duality? If you called people sheep without compassion for all the nudges we receive and dynamics at play, ask yourself the same. How willing are you to have compassion and humility that we all have human brains that are programmable and more narrowed when in fear? If you opted out of that one shot, do you feel self-righteous, superior, like you know best or are owed an apology? Do you celebrate those other ones' sudden demise or physical injury because it confirms your rightness? Why do you need others to validate your decision? And ask yourself if you can see the magic and truth and the value of modern medicine. Have you thrown the baby out with the bathwater? If you have read a thoughtful post and got angered and attacked back like a sick, injured puppy biting the hand of the one hoping to take you in and help because your one beautiful view wasn't included in a one-slide blip of info, or a dead family member wasn't considered, I wonder how that contributes to more silencing. And isn't silence leading to more violence? Do you see that same caring, thoughtful person that posts on one topic and is torn down for forgetting another becomes in freeze mode? And now we have lost that spark of thoughtfulness in the collective. They will thoughtfully now stay silent. And that one that rescues puppies is similarly arrested with criminal charges reading a savior complex. So now they will also self-punish and rot in self-imposed solitary confinement. And to the ones that believe silence is violence, yes. And we cannot demand humans walk the platforms and planks and still be non-performing, authentic, and inspiring meaningful change. To all these points, the platforms themselves are not supporting the complexity with these short, digestible posts. This is not another attempt to tear down a view, even a polarized one. And let's zoom out and be able to soften to see the truth that we don't always see at all. There's truths in all perspectives, and oftentimes much love and passion. Anger is a call to justice. Anger is beautiful, and it's narrowing of our attention and behavior. If your soul is screaming, stop the genocide, ask yourself how you support the culture of genocide. I challenge you to find 5 ways. They are abundant. The macro is the micro. What about the attempted genocide within of those shadow parts of yourself that you don't like and find acceptable? No bad parts. What if we applied that to the collective? No soul left behind. If you have such a dysregulated nervous system that you can't bear to hear Trump speak for more than 1 second, this was me. Ask yourself if you actually have ever heard him speak for longer than 10 minutes. If you have a heartbeat, continue to ask these questions and get curious. Do you feel wrong or called out? How does that limit new learning? Learning and memory is reduced when we are internally dysregulated. This is me too. This is everyone. When you see truth on one pole, challenge yourself to see truth on the other, to ask yourself what might be being left out of your view. Being open to a bigger perspective, to the unified point, doesn't mean leaving your soil and roots. We are all fragments of one. We can only see the whole truth when we all stand in our own with flexibility and self-trust. What would it take to trust yourself again? The willow tree that is firm and bendable. We are evolving to hold it all, not live in half-truths. How much duality can we hold becomes the new game. I know it's scary to be you in a world that exterminates what it doesn't like, leaving the possibility of only a small few left standing in their own prison of right-wayness, never able to change or evolve without risk of losing all. Not living fully, but only avoiding ego-formed death. It's all an illusion, though, because we are the ones with the eternal heartbeats. Balance is our nature, and eradication is only one end of the pole, only part of the story. Nature always has a way of boomeranging back when off balance, though we can all hope that does not have to happen through the example of all-out world war to bring peace through a great reset of all life. Though most of us see that timeline is possible. And if you're not willing to have it, you have it. The old Chinese finger trap. Let the illusions of anti fall. Drop the freaking rope. Go on discovery with curiosity, beginner's mind, integrity, reverence for humanity. And if your one truth remains, the confirmation will be astounding. If you discover the truth was an illusion, surrender it, forgive, and soften to nature's cycles. Let it die. Welcome the humanness of the error, so a new truth can stand. Maybe spend time without external nudges and trance and see what lies in the emotion body or in still moments. What lies in the body when you drop out of the mind is your own lie detector. If you suppress emotions, you're cutting off your wisdom. If you live in emotions, you're cutting off your wisdom. We will do both, and we can accept how much and move towards balance. So in our collective book era, through whatever vehicle that is, the raising of a child, a poem, a painting, a nightly dance, supporting those who are suffering and trusting who you are being called to support, how we carry ourselves in comment sections. Any service to the world through joy and passion, let's come alive. Let's shine light on all hearts, voices, and various forms of expression with reverence for our humanness, while we don't make each other wrong or bad if we don't stand from the same frame. That's the point of these embodiments, to experience love. the vibration of and acceptance of all emotions through our unique lens, the magic wisdom and power we carry in our truths and our DNA, in the resilience of ourselves, and the vulnerability and fragility we carry and is the truth of our sacred forms, is evidence that holding duality has always been inherent to our being. The wisdom, the truth of the paradox that is the beautiful human being, spirit in form. This and the inevitability of our existence in a world under the veil of great trance is that we lose harmony with our minds, bodies, and spirits. We miss the mark. We get off track. We lose our home song. There's a loud path our echo chambers or outside sources may be nudging for us. I have, in my compromised state, sometimes given blind faith to these paths and hoped they had our best interest in mind, humanity's best interest in mind. Maybe by some cause and effect of all things, you have found a path that brings you out of fear into peace, tends to your harmony, and supports your unique expression. Maybe you are walking a pathway of balance that allows you to be in service to humanity simply by being you. Perhaps you are sailing in this way where you can course correct to the winds of the present in a zigzagging spiral along your journey, still anchored in your I am route. And even smile in awe and wonder when weather calls you into unexpected ports. I am finding familiarity in this path, in this voyage. And no, I don't have a journal article to cite. Ask if you are walking a path paved and powered by fear, creating more illusions and confusion. Is that path bringing you to meet yourself? Are you even present with yourself during this walk? Or is yourself a distant memory? Or perhaps there's no memory of who you are at all. And where do you see this path going? Even if we don't have all the ego level specifics because of the truth of the present moment, let us rise and be willing to find our way back home. Go within to realign. Find your compass north. Then inspire us with being you. We are all the wayshowers guiding the earth and all beings to remember now. We are humanity, and we are also training AI in our image. It learns from us, thoughts and expressions. What really matters? Come alive and be. You are what we need right now. From one divine architect for humanity, reporting in connection with the eternal sacred council of creator wisdom. Forever finding the unity point. Thank you.